Let's enjoy English school. I'm Chris Gorski.
I'm Minnie.
It's August 11th. We're on pages 28 and 29. Today, our story is called Let's Go Bowling.
那我们今天8月11号在28、29页，我们今天的主题是来去打保龄球吧。
So let's look at our subtitle right away. Roll through the past and present of one of the world's favorite activities.
那我们今天的副标题啊，他说纵观世界上最受欢迎的活动之一的过去和现在，但是 roll through 有没有看到啊？这个可爱的动词片语啊，感觉好像滚过去的意思 roll through.
That's right. When we roll something, it's like a ball. In bowling, you roll the ball. But when we roll through something, we kind of look at something quickly. It's like to examine, to look at. That's what this means.
所以老师刚刚说 roll through 除了感觉滚过去以外，也有很快速掠过、快速看过的感觉。
Hey, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do Taiwanese like bowling?
Yes.
So I knew 2 places to go bowling in Taipei. I don't know any anymore.
I know back in my parents' age, like when I was very young, 我很小的时候，我爸妈常带我去 bowling.
Where did you go bowling?
土城啊，板桥有一些 ，yeah， 他们有一些地方。然后以前其实很多，像钓虾场这样有很多地方，但后来就慢慢一个一个都关了。这样。
Yeah, I remember there was one in Silin that I really liked to go to when I first came here, and then they closed it. They opened like more boring stores. But I missed that bowling alley. That was really fun bowling with Taiwanese.
我小时候前10个会讲的字就是 strike, 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 strike. Yeah， 因为爸妈带去嘛，啊，为了要看那个火鸡跳舞，我们就会一直讲。
Oh, you guys say turkey also.
Yeah.
That's funny. I don't know how to say anything in bowling in Chinese because my Chinese was not good then. So that's interesting. We're going to talk about these words
火鸡跳舞。
Let's get ready for our story.
Let's go bowling. With more than 100 million players worldwide, bowling is one of the most popular sports on the planet. Just roll a ball down a lane and knock over some pins. Easy, right? But the story of bowling is anything but a straight roll down center lane. In the 1930s, Sir Flinders Petrie found some curious objects in an Egyptian child's grave. Those objects appeared to be related to bowling and were dated to 3200 BCE. However, William Pelle from Germany argued that bowling began in his country around 300 CE. In 1366, people in England were not allowed to bowl. That's because King Edward III wanted his soldiers to focus on their training. A few centuries later, people from the Netherlands, Germany, and England brought bowling to the New World, and it became more and more popular. In 1895, the American Bowling Congress was formed. Standard rules were made, and scoring, along with strikes and spares, was established. The number of frames, 10, was also put in place. National bowling events began, and in the 20th century, bowling went from a hobby to a professional sport.
All right, it's time for the story. Let's look at paragraph 1. With more than 100 million players worldwide, bowling is one of the most popular sports on the planet.
保龄球是世界上最受欢迎的运动之一，全球有超过1亿个人为此着迷哦。
Just roll a ball down a lane and knock over some pins.
那只要将球沿着球道滚出去，撞倒一些保龄球瓶就可以了。
So let's talk about this vocab. First of all, we have a lane. When we go bowling, we have that long line. It's called a lane. It looks just like the word a line.
所以 L-A-N-E lane， 我们第一次看到的时候，可能是你在学校学写地址的时候，巷子的那个巷口，那个也是 lane。但这边的 lane 指的就是球道。
That's right. And next we have a pin. A pin is just the big wooden thing you hit in bowling.
所以在这边 pin pin 很像是你放一个标的的感觉，有没有？
That's exactly what I was going to say next.
对，所以这个 pin 其实就是保龄球瓶。
That's right. So in bowling, you have your bowling pins, and you can also use what we call a push pin, P-U-S-H space P-I-N. Sometimes we also call those thumb tacks, thumb like 大拇指, and then T-A-C-K-S. But a lot of times we'll just ask for like a pin.
Pin.
And then you have your bowling ball. Let's look at the word bowling ball. So we have B-O-W-L. It's a little hard to say. 我建议 you put your tongue on the top of your mouth. 在那个你的门牙后面，你是 bowl.
Bowl.
That's right. Now, this sounds like the round thing you can eat soup with. And that's because in Dutch, the word ball, bowl, and then like your soup bowl, the verb to bowl, it just means round thing.
所以老师这边讲，我们在发那个 bowl 的声音的时候，我们会把舌头放在你的上门牙后面 bowl 往上
You
顶。
can't see. I was like trying to show people.
Yeah, it's okay. 他们的想象力都很好啦。然后像我们讲球体、球形，那个 ball ball 也是一样。所以在 Dutch 在荷兰的语言里面，像 bowl 这些东西都是圆体的意思。
That's right. Maybe 光头, you don't have any hair. You're
Bald.
bald. B-A-L-D. You have the word to blow, like a balloon. Blow, balloon. 它们都是圆圆的。
吹气球的吹，气球的 balloon 都是圆的。
When you blow air, it will be round. We also have the word bale. That's a big ball of grass. Boulder, that's a big rock. If you get fat, you have a bulge. Or if maybe you want to be a mommy, you'll have a baby bulge. There are a lot of bull words, and they all mean round.
这样想想真的很多哎。
The longer I thought of it, I could keep going, and I was like, no one cares. Like belly, ball, balloon.
Yeah.
Let's continue to our next sentence. Okay, so it says easy, right? 这个应该合起来跟上一个句子 just roll the ball down a lane, knock over some pins. Easy, right? But the story of bowling is anything but a straight roll down center lane.
所以我们这个 easy ride 是指说，上面你的那滚球，然后撞倒一些保龄球瓶就可以了，很简单，对吧？不过保龄球的故事绝对比在中间球道直滚动球还来得曲折很多。
Okay, so this is a really fancy way of just saying it's not a simple story. There are a lot of twists and turns. There are a lot of details. But nobody would really say, hey, it's not a straight roll down center lane.
但是蛮可爱的写法。
It's kai, yeah, because it ties in, it's related to bowling. But to be fair, it's not something you would say every day. You'd only be talking about it here.
Yeah, 所以这个也是写作技巧之一哦。如果你今天的主题跟你要形容比拟的东西可以稍微做呼应，读者读起来就会觉得比较有趣。
That's right.
我很喜欢。
Yeah. Let's get ready for paragraph 2. All right, friends, welcome back to Enjoy English School. It's day 1 of our story called Let's Go Bowling. We're on paragraph 2. Minnie, when I was little, my mom liked to bowl, but we did not have a lot of money. So do you know how we played bowling in our house?
Just take whatever ball you have and all the bottles and then lay there.
That's exactly right. But
See?
I come from a snowy place. So
Snowballs!
no, we couldn't go like trying to roll down snow. It doesn't work.
And they melt!
We'd do it in the house, and we had like glass bottles.
玻璃瓶
And we
Coca-Cola
would,
瓶
that's right, and we would break glass, and my mother would be really angry at us. Yeah, and that's right. We had fun until our mother kind of
flip out.
she would take the broom and kind of hit us. She would clean and then hit us.
哇，好想看 Chris 老师被妈妈打哦。
That's right. So yeah, I think kind of every kid in the world has to take some bottles and like roll the ball, right?
That's just like human nature.
All kids have to do this, right? Is there a person right now that you can ask, have you ever done this? I feel like 100%.
I even like have all my cousins stand there and then try to roll a ball and be like, 球撞到你，你就要跌倒啊。
They're the bowling pin?
Yeah.
Or like you get like the big ball, like
Yeah.
like a
Yoga ball,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
But man, you like really throw that.
I really throw that. 没有在跟你客气的好不好？又不会痛。
Bow! All right, let's continue here to our next sentence. In the 1930s, Sir Flinders Petrie found some curious objects in an Egyptian child's grave.
那在1930年代呢，佛林德斯皮特里爵士在埃及儿童的墓中发现了一些不寻常的物品。
Now, curious here means the word strange, but it's not. If I say the word strange, it feels really negative. It feels really bad. But when we say curious, it just means, oh, like really interesting, very special. But honestly, most people would use, like a 同义词 would say strange.
所以在这边呢，其实我们也可以说奇怪、奇特的东西，我们用 strange。但老师刚刚说 strange 有一种比较负面的意思，所以我们用 curious 感觉好奇，就会引发别人的兴趣，觉得这是一个有趣的东西。
Cheetahs are really good. We need a word like that in English. Like, yeah, I feel it's like curious as close as it gets. But yeah, that's a good word. These objects appeared to be related to bowling and were dated to 3200 BCE.
那这些物品似乎与保龄球有关，而且可以追溯至西元前3200年。
Okay, so we can say 3200, or we could say 3200 BCE, but most foreigners won't say that. And we have BCE. 你有可能看过就是 BC.
Yeah.
BC means before Christ. So it talks about like Jesus in the Bible. And scientists kind of don't want to talk like that. So they say BCE. And that CE means current era. Just means 现代的时间.
Oh, so BC, before current era.
Yeah, that's right. Let's continue here. However, William Peel from Germany argued that bowling began in his country around 300 CE.
那然而呢，德国人威廉佩勒主张保龄球是在西元300年前左右出现在德国的。
And again, CE means common era or current era. 就是现代的时间. That's right. In the past, it used to be AD, but 这个也有跟那个 Christianity. Yeah, that's right. So I think it's important to look at what bowling looked like in Egypt before we can decide who is right. Was Sir Flinders Petrie right, or was William Peel right? So in Egypt, they had a long lane and a ball, just like bowling. But in Egypt, you had two people throwing a ball at the same time. So maybe I have a big ball and Minnie has a small ball. And she will throw her ball and she wants to get it in a little hole at the end of the lane. But I don't want her to do that. So I'll throw my big ball to try to hit her ball and make it go somewhere different. That was Egyptian bowling. That's pretty different than what we think.
所以老师这边说他有做了一个研究，就是埃及的 bowling 呢是两个人在玩，然后两个人一人有一颗球，最终点呢它不是那个保龄球瓶，它是一个洞。那你要先把这个球推进去这个洞的人才赢。那可能就是两个人会互相较劲，所以另外一个人他可能会拿他的球，可能球的尺寸也不一样，所以他可以拿他大的球去把这个小的球赶快把它击走、滚走，让它跑离出轨道。这个跟我们现在保龄球的这个规则就有点不太一样。
But in Germany, bowling sounds a lot like what we talk about. So in Germany, in the past, it was a really dangerous place. And everybody always had their club, C-L-U-B. And if you know what a club looks like, it looks like a bowling pin. You can just hit someone in the head with it.
Huh?
Bowling in the past was not a game. It was for religion and to protect you.
所以 bowling 呢，我们说的保龄球在以前它不是一个游戏，它是有一点像是宗教的一个仪式来保护你。
That's right. And so you would take your club, you have your hand part, and you turn it over, and you put it at the far end of a lane. And you have a ball, and you have to try to throw and hit your club. And it looks like a pin, and it will fall over. That pin was the bad person that wants to hurt you, someone that wants to steal your money. If you can hit that club and make it fall over, you will be safe.
Wow.
If you miss, you have some bad luck.
所以老师刚刚用到 club 那个字呢，其实是球杆的意思。
That's right.
对。然后老师刚刚说，他们那个宗教怎么样去处罚人呢？是把那个坏人当作是保龄球瓶放在那里，然后你可以拿东西去打他，去丢他，然后他如果倒了，那就是他受到惩罚，然后你也就赢了这样子。
That's right. So you decide, is Egyptian bowling, you throw two balls, or like the guy that puts the pin down and tries to hit the pin? Which one is more like bowling to you? and I'll let you pick who is right.
所以你可以自己决定，我们所有的观众、小朋友、学生们可以自己决定，你觉得埃及那个比较切实符合我们现在的 bowling， 还是德国的比较符合？
And I'm not saying like that little kid's a liar, right? Like this guy, Sir Flinders Petrie said that. Like I think he maybe is thinking too much. So, all right, let's continue here. In 1366, people in England were not allowed to bowl. That's because King Edward III wanted his soldiers to focus on their training.
那在1366年的时候呢，英国人是被禁止打保龄球的。那是因为呢，国王爱德华三世希望他的士兵能够专注在他们的训练当中。
You guys understand this. Mom says you can't use your cell phone. You can't play video games. I want you to focus on your training. I want you to focus on your studying. That's just like that. Let's continue here. A few centuries later, a few hundred years later, people from the Netherlands, Germany, and England brought bowling to the New World, and it became more and more popular.
那数百年之后呢，来自荷兰、德国以及英国的人呢，他们就把保龄球带到了新大陆。那这项运动也变得越来越流行。
Underline the Netherlands and write Holland, Holland. The Netherlands, Holland, it's the same.
Oh.
And underline the New World. The New World means North America.
北美洲。
That's right. Canada, America, Mexico.
对，Mexico 也算北美洲
Yep. Everything under Mexico is Central America.
中美
and
跟南美。
South America.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay. And with that, let's take a break and we'll be back for paragraph 3. All right, friends, it's time for paragraph 3. We're on pages 28 and 29. In 1895, the American Bowling Congress was formed.
那在1895年呢，这个美国保龄球大会就成立了。
It's such a fancy word, Congress. But Congress just means any group that makes rules. Con, C-O-N, means together. And grist actually is a really old word talking about just like making things. So let's continue. Standard rules were made and scoring along with strikes and spares was established.
那在大会成立之后呢，标准的规定就被制定出来啦，计分方式啊，连同全倒以及补中啊，然后等等的这些都被设立出来。
Okay, so we have some vocabulary here. We want to highlight the word strike, S-T-R-I-K-E. When we play bowling, a strike means you use one ball and you hit all 10 pins in one try. That's right. Number 2, we have a spare. A spare means you need 2 balls to hit 10 pins.
就是2个机会。
That's right. And if you throw the ball but it hits the side, it's called a gutter ball. G-U-T-T-E-R, gutter ball.
Yeah, gutter ball 洗钩。
That's right. And the number of frames, 10, was also put in place.
那在这个成立了之后呢，这个实施了10个计分格的这种模式。
And let's underline the word frame. In most games, we'll talk about a round, R-O-U-N-D. So baseball, you have the top of the inning, the bottom of the inning, a round of whatever game. In bowling, it's called a frame.
所以 round 就是回合的意思，但是在 bowling 里面，你有看过那个格子是一个方格一个方格，所以他们用 frame 这个字。
In underline, put in place, that means to make standard.
To make standard 就代表说被设定出来，这个标准被制定出来。
And 这个段的第二个句子就开头那个 standard, right? So rules were standardized, rules were put in place. There you go. That's what that means. And the national bowling events began in the 20th century. Bowling went from a hobby to a professional sport.
那全国保龄球大赛开始出现，然后到了20世纪的时候，保龄球已经从单纯的爱好转变成一种职业运动了。
When I was little, you could wake up on Saturday morning at 6 a.m. and you watch Saturday morning cartoons. And you could watch cartoons 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. And then at 12 o'clock, cartoons would end. And one of 2 sports would start. Bowling or golf. And it was so boring. It made me so it made me so mad as a little kid. The end of your favorite cartoon is bowling or golf. And it just, I don't know, I felt that was not fair.
不会啊，早上都跟你看这么多卡通啊，中午你去睡午觉，换你爸妈看一下 golf 跟 bowling 很合理。
Of course, as an adult, I understand that. But man, seeing them go from a happy cartoon to just some bowling, it made me really made me so mad as a little kid.
但在卡通里面也有很多保龄球的一些片段。
Yeah, there are. Bowling is
Tom
like a
and
fun
Jerry
thing.
有没有？
Every kid likes bowling. I don't think there's any kid that's like, nah, I don't want to do any bowling. Like maybe they're shy, but I think any kid would want to throw the ball.
True.
All right, with that, let's get ready for vocab review. All right, friends, it's time for vocab review. And our first word, we have a verb and a noun, to roll.
所以 roll 这个字是滚动的意思，然后也是一个，它可以当动词，也可以当名词。
That's right. In English, if it's a noun, it kind of, for bowling, it means like to have a try, to have a roll, to have a try.
就是让你丢一次的意思。
That's right. Number 2, we have to knock something over.
啊，有养猫的这个字很会啊 ，knock over 撞倒。
That's right.
弄倒。
Plink. Number 3, curious, which means unusual.
Curious 这边当 unusual 不寻常的、奇特的。
Number 4, to allow somebody to verb.
那你允许某人做某事，我们就会说 allow somebody to do something。
小心 let 不可以用 to, so let somebody do something. Number 5, training.
这边的 training 应该是训练的意思。
And number 6, standard.
Standard 就是这边当形容词，代表标准的
You can also say a standard, that's
名
fine.
词。
Number 7, to score.
那这边的我们平常 score 是当分数名词，但是这边是代表得分是动词。
That's right. Number 8, to put something in place, meaning to like make a standard.
对，就代表说你要设立一个 standard， 设立一个标准，我们就会说 put in place。
And with that, we're out of time at Enjoy English School. But tomorrow, we got more of day 2 of our story about bowling. And why did they call it a turkey anyways? We'll find out tomorrow. For Enjoy English School, I'm Chris Gorski.
I'm Minnie.
We'll see you then. Bye-bye.